Hey guys, it's Max here. Welcome back to another video on my channel. This one being round 2 of PSGL here at Miami International Autodrome. Heading into this race, and we're heading into qualifying actually, but heading into this race and qualifying, I was really nervous. I've been doing AI races like all throughout this week, and it hasn't been too great, but that is AI and they're ridiculously overpowered. But anyway, on to qualifying. This is my only representative, well, my second representative time, because our last lap got invalidated and it was going to be slower anyway. But let me take you through a lap of the Miami International Autodrome. Into 8th gear, activating DRS, brake just after 100, into 3rd, short shifted to 4th. Keep your throttle where it is, keep it nice and pinned. Confidence is key around here. As always, I can see, and you'll find out in the race. Into turn 3, I think this is, left-hander, flick it in, flick it right, and then also over this curb as well, use as much as you can, and into this left-hander. We get this pretty much hooked up perfectly actually. I was very happy with this, and that's a good sector time. I have like 9 kilograms of fuel, activate DRS, 9 kilograms of fuel in, so I wasn't the greatest top line speed, but this is because this is not a final run, and I didn't expect our final run to be just as bad as this. Brake after 100, in 4th gear, touch that curb ideally, but we do miss that apex by quite a bit. Now I'm into this double right-hander, quite hard to get right. Flick it into a left-hander, you can take a lot more curb with that, and you can see in the race, miss that apex a little bit there. Oh, and we get all over the wall there, and you can see checking vehicle condition just see if we got any wing damage, because that was very close and just scraping the wall there a long time, like with skateboarding. Brake at 100 meters or just before it, and we miss that apex just by a little bit. Make up for it on the exit as we get no wheel spin whatsoever. And for this sweeping long right-hander across the line, and it's good enough for P4 at the moment. But heading onto the grid, it's a rain race, and we're starting P6, and as you can see in the session forecast at the top, it's going to be raining throughout the whole session, so this should be very fun. And as you can probably tell by the title, if I've put it right, this is one of the most intense races I've ever raced, and that is not an understatement. And I promise if you stick around, you won't be disappointed. So it's going to be a one-stop, that's the quickest way to go about this. Unless there's more safety cars than expected. But we're going to underfuel, because in the rain you get a lot of your fuel refunded, basically. So, getting our tyres nice and warm. Using the new feature, of course, of parking your car yourself on the starting grid. And Sharky there and McLaren gets it all wrong, and they get disqualified from the session, meaning they just like get set back as we get purple actually. That's a perfect parking position as we're approaching the grid. Transition over to the real multiplayer race for PSGL round 2. 5 lights on the starting grid. It's lights out and away we go. We get a pretty decent start. LFR Jones doesn't, however. McLaren and Aston Martin, we're going to go through both of them into turn 1. Davey and Jay Tyler in the Ferrari battling out already, and we have a McLaren on our outside actually. And they force us on the curb, and that gives us a warning. Everyone just trying to find where the grip is and where the ideal line is. And into turn 3 we'll have a move. No, as we just stick behind, and Tyler's becoming a safety car actually, just bunching us all up. And this is the one great thing about league racing, is how tight the actual field is. As we head into the left-hander onto the straights, hopefully we can get a good exit. I was a little bit tentative here, and we checked the weather to see if it actually was going to rain the whole race, and it is, I can tell you this now. The Aston Martin behind us actually is going to have a move down the inside. I can't defend it because I don't have enough time to move over. They're going to go down the inside. Can we do anything about it? Can we hold this position? Yes, we can, into the double right-hander. We have a little look at McLaren, and we force the Aston Martin behind us out wide, because they are not going to have a move through here. I mean, just look how tight this chicane is. So hard to get right, that's why we call it the RNG chicane, because it's literally just a gambling machine. Go on it and it just distributes you a random exit about how good or bad it is. But there's already a yellow flag, and I think that's a Williams or an Alpine at the back there. Already our first spinner of this race. First of many, I can tell you this now. Now, braking nice and early because it is very wet, as you can see. And it does rain throughout the whole race like this. I think maybe this is the worst the rain gets, but I don't know how it didn't transition to wet weather conditions. I mean, like full wets. Because it did rain consistently throughout the whole race. And David W getting a little bit over shape there, and he's spinning, and David W is in the wall, and that is almost a guaranteed safety car. Yes, it is. Okay. So that is a virtual safety car, actually, not a full safety car, even though the car is stuck on track. But as we go green again, putting the fight back on Sharky. Through chicane and into this tight left-hander, unwind the wheel, put the power down. Can we get past this player onto the back straight? We have really good. We have a really good setup actually this race. I've noticed the normal race setup. I went in Grand Prix mode a lot just to do a little bit of prep, and I can tell you now as Sharky gets really out of shape there. I can tell you now, this setup did not feel as good as it felt in this race. That's why I was like really nervous, because my wheel was having issues, and you'll see that in the end of this race as Sharky was very wide there, getting it all wrong, and we might have a go if we can put the power down early, and they get out of shape again, and that gives us the opportunity to go dancing around the outside. And that does move us up into P2, so from P6 to P2 in a couple of laps. I call that a very successful job as we cross the line, and we get the fastest lap as well. So we gained a 10th on Tyler there, and there's a yellow flag. I think that's an Aston Martin stuck on track. I don't know if that's someone going into the pits, but someone's retired, and that might cause a safety car. Yes, it does. So a full safety car has been deployed, but on the end of lap 6, we're going to try and get our tyres nice up to temperature. This is the first full safety car. If this is the first or this is the last, who knows? Well, I know, but I'm not going to tell you that yet. You're going to have to find out for yourself. And we're just going to try and warm up our front tyres, and we can't put the power down to light up our rear axles because there's weird traction control glitch that everyone hates, but still in the game for some reason. And Tyler, I think, is gone. Yes, he's gone. So this is green flag conditions again. The safety car's in, the lights have gone green, and there's still a caution flag for some reason, but as we cross the line, it goes back to green. So beginning of lap 7, now we can really put on the pressure on Tyler to try and get into the lead and defend for our life, really. I knew I had the pace, it's just whether, almost Miami, so pace, and it's in the wet, so both of those things, skill gap is absolutely out the window, well, although we did gap the cars behind by about 3 seconds. And we'll see that again for a little bit, and we get this left-hander pretty well hooked up. Yeah, skill gap is completely out the window, it's just about confidence really in the throttle pedal. And you'll see later on, Jay Tyler has that in a copious amount. Will we still back the fastest lap? Can we? No, we can't. But 800s away from the fastest lap. You can just see how close league racing is. I mean, I say close, with 3 laps we gained about a 3-second gap on Sharky behind. But there's nothing much we can do here. Just sit behind, try and gap the pack behind, so we have a big enough gap. So when we pit, we'll come out in clean air and hopefully ahead of a lot of people and not in traffic, so we can maybe undercut. The undercut is really powerful, and I'll explain why. It's because the pit lane temperature of the tyres, it means like on slick tyres, they come out as like 70 degrees or something like that. And they're supposed to be cold, but they haven't changed it for the wets yet, or I don't know if this is on purpose or not, but they've changed it so it doesn't matter in wets, because the optimal temperature is around 70 degrees and upwards. So oh, and there's a massive crunch there, I think you can hear that. And Pera is out of the session with the Aston Martin. I don't know if that'll cause a safety car. Well, it doesn't, as we head on another couple of laps into the last corner. Lap 14, this is our pit window open. Does Tyler pit? No, so I'm going to stay out another lap. I don't want to undercut him too much, because that does mean... Oh, he's still the fastest lap there as well. You don't undercut him too much, because that means he has fresher tyres than us, and that would just cause him to go further on because he's in clean air. And if we pit, like we're going to do this lap, we're going to be stuck in traffic, and that could help Tyler just extend his advantage. And we're going to go try around the outside. We have much better top line speed, but he's way better on the brakes, and as he's running a much higher wing setup than us, can put the power down so much more earlier than us. And you will see that throughout the rest of the session as into a pit lane we go. Will we turn in at the right point? I think the optimum point is about 0.4. Yes, we get that right. So it should be around 2.2 seconds this pit stop. And no one else comes in, so we are the only car to come in pit lane. And this is still our lap, by the way. And we've already caught up to these two who haven't pitted yet, the McLaren and the Haas. We cut the chicane. I don't know how we don't get a warning there, but I'm not complaining. Unwind the steering wheel, and you can see how much better of an exit we get. And this Haas does not want to lose any time to us, so he pulls over to the left. Not exactly lifting, but tucks it into our slipstream again, because he does want to get ahead of that McLaren. I don't know if he's the championship rival or something, but he just doesn't want to lose that much time, and I don't want to lose too much time either, because our rival in this race, Jay Tyler, is pitting. And you can see him in the pit lane there. He's just about moving, but we want to get this McLaren out of the way, because if we don't, we're going to lose the position, and our undercut is going to go to absolute shambles. As Jay Tyler comes out of the pits, we're going to be side by side through turn 2 and 3. We are on the outside. He squeezes us to the outside there. We have the inside line into the left-hander though. Can we get past the McLaren as well? We look about it. We get past the Ferrari and go round the outside of the McLaren. So that means we've got 2 in 1 and into the net race lead. As Jay Tyler tries to go down the inside there. But we are in the lead because Flying Dutch Roger and LFR Joes haven't pitted yet. So that means we are leading this Grand Prix for the first time. And I am loving life because I have the fastest lap, and Jay Tyler is in our wing mirrors for once. But not for long, as he tries to go down the inside there. He can't stop the car, he forces us off, and we have to cut the track there, and we get an illegal overtake, which is so unfair because he does force us off, very much so. And will we have enough time to give this place back? We have 5 seconds left. We're going to go try and go to the outside of the track, let him pass, and we do so, and we slow down actually quite a lot there. As he leaves to say thank you because he thinks that I just gave it on my own accord. And the McLaren goes to the inside. Will he go for a move? No, not yet. Well, I say not yet, but he won't. And our undercut has gone to the dogs because he is ahead again. And a Flying Dutch Roger has pitted. So he'll be stuck behind us as the safety car comes out, so that just ruins our whole strategy really. It throws it in the bin, like our race. But it's not over yet, it's nowhere near over yet. We've got 9 more laps when we're across the line. Just to make this work really. We want to just get ahead of Tyler, park the absolutely park the bus, and then just see what happens really. And we don't touch that curb because that will spin you, and luckily it didn't for me. As we cross the line on lap 21, 9 laps to go, can we get ahead of Jay Tyler? And can we take our first win of PSGL? Now, it is looking likely. I have the pace, as I said. I'm much quicker than Jay Tyler. Not when I'm stuck behind him though, so that is one issue I do need to fix. But behind us, McLaren is already a second behind, and we're going to push as much as we can just to get ahead as soon as we can. And now thinking about it, I should have pushed way harder than this just to try and get ahead whilst we have this much ERS, and then just save it as we tell our engineer to shut up basically, because I just needed maximum concentration. And we've already lost 5/10 to Sharky behind, so she must be pushing quite hard into the braking zone. We get this hooked up nicely, and I'm just going to try and put... This is the most ideal situation for me ever, because I love being in P2. It makes me save ERS, well, it allows me to, even though I don't really. I can save ERS, I can save fuel, which I underfueled because it's raining, and you don't use much fuel there. But yeah, you just put them into an environment where they don't feel safe, and just like Daniel Ricciardo, I like them vulnerable on the track, force them into errors, and then that gives me an easy win. iRacing, so why can't it translate to R1? Even though they're very different things. Now on to lap 22. At the end of lap 22, Jay Tyler goes very deep there. Just done a Valtteri Bottas on it there. And I'm just gonna try and just keep off the ERS, even though I'm gonna use quite a lot of it. Let's get the fastest lap. Can we go down the inside? Yes, we can. Can we make the move stick? We go a little bit deep and almost make contact, but with his higher wings, I just can't go near him on the exit of corners. And I talked to him after the race. I think I was running like 1727 wings or something like that, which is very high. And we're going to go try and go down the inside again. Can we make this move stick for the lead of the race? We're going to force him to the outside. But yet again, he goes round the outside and makes it stick. So we just can't get ahead. It's so hard to get ahead. Because the only overtaking opportunities are on the straights. As we try and fake the move there. On the straights, because you cannot overtake anywhere other than the straights. As he gets it a little bit wrong here, and we're right on the gearbox of him. We might make a move here. Now looking at the back of this, I should not have gone for this. I should have saved ERS, be more conservative, because we've got a good gap behind. But we are going to go on the right of the Ferraris. He squeezes us into the wall, and we do make contact, and I scrape the wall even more there. And I think I do check the vehicle condition, because I was very scared I had wing damage there, and that could have ruined my whole race. Even further, yeah, I checked my vehicle condition. I did not want wing damage, because that would, yeah, put all this effort in the bin. And the last thing I wanted in this race is to spin or make a big mistake, because Sharky and Flying Dutch Roger are right there at the fingertips, and give them the opportunity at the fingertips even. And we're gonna go. We tried to go down around the outside, because I've never made a move there, and a Red Bull there is actually spun out there. He's out of session as Jay Tyler gets it horrifically wrong there, and we had to avoid him, but we couldn't. So we went over the curb, and we got another track limit warning, one more, and that is it for our race, because we get a 3-second penalty. But I'm using ERS again when I don't need to. I have so much time. Now looking back at this, I have no idea why I was sending it this much, because I just couldn't get past. I have about 4 more laps. We're going to try around the outside. No, he just shuts the door. And no more debates. And I'm going to try and overtake him again, even though I'm using no ERS. And this is going, oh, we dummy him, and we're going to go try down the inside again. Can we make it stick? Will he go around the outside again? Yes, he will. Now looking back at this, I should have short shifted into maybe 5th or something. But we're going to go try down the inside again. Can we get the line? We're going to reserve our place down the inside into turn 1. Can we make it stick? No. A drinky game. Every time I say make it stick, have a shot. Is there? I'll numb the pain with this race later on. But lap 28 then, one more when we cross the line. As we go through this section for penultimate time, we're going to try and hook this up nicely as we go on the curb, and we do not hook that up nicely, and I was trying not to get a penalty there, and luckily we don't. Right on the limits here. I was just so conscious about trying to catch up to Tyler and just keep Sharky behind me, but I couldn't just like focus on getting these exits and just being clinical really. And now looking at back of this situation, I just wish I could have like done it again because now I actually know what it's like, and I didn't do much rain practice as Jay Tyler gets heading into the chicane. Oh. Now look at the top left, you see that Jay Tyler has a 3-second penalty. If you're new to penalties, and if you don't know what they are, that means at the end of a race, 3 seconds is applied to their race time. So right now, we are in the lead. We are in the lead, so if I can keep Sharky behind me, I've won the race. I've won the race, and I don't need to win it on track anymore, so I'm going to back off a little bit, as that does not help our course at all. Heading onto the straight for the final time. What's it going to be? Is it going to be a first win for Max GC UK, or is it going to be a first win for Jay Tyler if he can gap us? But it will not be it. Will it be a first win for Sharky? Will it be a first win for Flying Dutch Roger? Who knows? At this point, we're just going to try and keep them behind me for... just hang on for my life. As Jay Tyler, you can see him pushing as much as he can to get ahead of us as much as he can. And right now, he's about net P4 because the AlphaTauri and I think another car are fighting. I don't know if that's an Alfa Romeo. Now, my teammate was a reserve, so he didn't do really well, I don't think. So, Constructors is out the window, really, this race. But this will be really good points if I could get 17 points, a win and the fastest lap. But heading through the double right-hander section for the last time, we got a green first sector, which means we are improving. And there's a yellow flag, and AlphaTauri there retires, and Jay Tyler uses another one of his warnings, and we get really out of shape here, and that could have damaged our race win. And we activate ERS really early, which I probably shouldn't have done. And Sharky Speed saving up her ERS as I go to the inside. Can we make it a win? No, Sharky goes round the outside, and our wheel disconnects. Our wheel has just disconnected. And Flying Dutch Roger goes through. And I can tell you here, I was devastated. What could have been maybe not a win, but Sharky gets the fastest lap of the race there as well. It couldn't have been a win, but it could have been at least a P2. What could have been, I was so annoyed at myself, and I've been having wheel issues the whole week and like a whole year. I changed the USB cable for a better one, but yeah, there's no excuse for that really. As finish on the podium for the first time with PSGL, but just thinking of what it could have been. It's pain, but yeah. It's a great drive from Sharky though. I talked to her after. She's like planning this move from like lap 23, saving up her ERS, to go for a move, and that is perfectly timed from her, really. And Flying Dutch Roger being there for perfect time as well. But yeah, that's my fault, and I'll come back stronger next time. But that is it from me. If you do enjoy this series, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you want more. But that is it from me. Stay safe, stay strong, but most importantly, stay units. Thanks, guys.